In this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you the first basic steps to making a slab constructed mug. So since we're a little pressed for time, I have a few templates in the Clay Center that are from those geometric forms that we use in math class, the solid shapes. So I'm going to be showing you how to make a cylinder shaped mug, since that's a pretty common shape that a lot of students like to use. So you're going to begin by rolling a slab of clay with a slab roller. If you have never done that before, please ask for help and I will certainly show you how to do it. You're going to need for this project a toothbrush, a pointy tool, kind of like a knife but it's wood, a sponge, and a cup of water. So we're going to start out by lightly tracing along the edge of the rectangle. Now we're lightly tracing, not cutting all the way through yet. Then we're going to see where we can fit our other pieces. So in this case, we're just making a base of a bottom. So we're going to lightly trace the circle. And we're going to go right around the edge of the blue plastic so that we're sure it's a perfect circle. Then we're going to take a ruler. Please don't use the rulers that we have in the drawing center or in those blue drawers that we use for drawing or painting or anything. Please make sure that you use the ones only that are in the Clay Center. If you can't find them, just ask. And we're going to hold it along the edge of the line that we drew, and we're going to cut straight through. Nice hard line. So you're going to hold it right on the edge and then cut. Now, as you cut these pieces away, please don't smush them into a ball. Leave them aside because they can make really good handles or other parts for your project. So just hang on to those until cleanup and press through here. So now I have my side for my mug. Then I'm going to cut out my base. So I will, and actually, I really should have put that over here because look at all that space I wasted. So always think about how you're using your space before you cut. So you know what, since I traced lightly, I can smooth this out. And that's the advantage of tracing lightly. See, I followed my own advice and it worked out. And I'm going to fit it here now. Trace lightly first. Okay, check it. That's good. Now I can cut through. And when I cut through, I'm holding right along the edge of the blue. Okay, now I have my base. And I'm going to start constructing it. So I'm going to get my toothbrush and I'm going to slip and score. Now, another way that you can do this that other people like to do is they take a little scratchy tool or a needle tool like this, and they will actually scratch little edges into it, a little texture into it, and then they will take slip, which is kind of like this muddy stuff, and they will put it on here. An easier thing that you can do that works pretty much as well is you can dip your toothbrush in water and scrub all the way around the surfaces that you need to attach. So in this case, it's the outer edge of the circle. Then I'm going to do the bottom edge of my rectangle and the two edges, the two sides that I need to attach. I don't need to do the top right now because I'm not attaching anything to it. Then I'm going to move this over, wrap it around, make sure it's flush to the side, so press. When you press, you should see almost like a little bit of water or slip kind of squish out of the sides. That's how you know that there's no more room, no gaps. And then close it up, make sure it's lined up, turn it on its side, and start to pinch it together. Push, pinch. So when I'm pushing, I'm seeing a little bit of clay smushing out or a little slip squishing out. That's good. That's how I know it's really together. Now from here, turn it over. Make sure your hand is inside to support the inside. Otherwise I could squish it. And just start out by just dragging the clay over. You can also do this with a blunt tool, or you can use your finger, whatever you're more comfortable with. Okay, but make sure it's a blunt tool, like a rounded edge, not a pointy edge. So I'm dragging this clay over. Okay, and then keeping my hand in to support it, I'm going to smooth it out. So you always want to have your hand behind a wall to support it when your clay is really wet like this, because it's very delicate and you could easily just pop a hole in there with your hand. If you have any rings on or anything, definitely take them off, put them on your necklace. With the side now, I want to smooth this out. And then the inside, which might be a little tricky to see, I need to close up that seam. So I'm going to take my ring off to do that. You can also do this with a blunt tool, like I said, if you're having trouble reaching. Make sure it's all the way smoothed out, and on the inside as well. So you're getting some clay from the bottom and dragging it up the inside. Okay, to make sure it's really in there. Then you can smooth it to make sure it looks nice and clean. Now, this is structurally pretty sound now, but it's kind of ugly. So the way you can clean it up, you can take tools and smooth it a little bit. Just don't smooth it so much that you wind up weakening the walls and making them too thin. You can dip your fingers in water and smooth it. You can even dip a sponge in water, wring it out really, really good. Like squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it until hardly any other water comes out. And you could smooth the sides. Now, if you would like to, then when you go to add your handle or anything, let's say, for example, you're doing a simple handle, okay, like this. Measure it on the side, see how big it needs to be. Now don't turn yours on its side like that. I'm just doing that so you could see how I'm measuring it. And then, just like when we constructed our sides, you're gonna score any areas that it's gonna attach to. You don't want to attach it to the seam, so find your seam to the opposite wall because that area might not be as strong. Okay, press really, really hard. And then you're going to take a blunt tool and blend it on like this. Okay, same thing at the bottom. Now, anything that you're adding, let's say part of your design is to have three-dimensional flowers or something on there. Anything that you attach to clay has to be slipped, scored, and blended on. Okay? It might seem while it's wet that it's stuck well, but as soon as it dries, I can assure you it will fall off. So this is my basic construction. Now, all this sloppiness, I would just go back in later and refine with my sponge. Now, at the end of the period, when it's time to clean up, you're not going to finish this project in one day, and we have a lot of time before we start again. You're going to wrap it in paper towels, spray it, put a plastic bag over the whole board, and you're going to take a clothespin with your name on it and clip it onto the bag.